NGT Academy. The founders, TK and Jacob, have a pretty interesting backstory that has shaped the service they offer. And pay close attention to their revenue model. It's a little different, and I'll dive into it after you hear their story.
If you want to get into information technology, college is not the answer. We've trained thousands of engineers. We know it can be done in months versus years, and without that student loan debt.
Terry and I were instructors in the Air Force. We'd take folks from high school, we would train them, and then they would go to the battlefield where they're supporting real-world networks right away. It didn't take them 4 years, it just took them 4 months.
And that's when the idea was born. Could we take that military training framework and then deploy that at scale in the civilian sector?
So we focus on getting people IT training and landing them into a career within 6 months or less. There's over 50 billion devices connected to the internet. So cybersecurity becomes extremely important. The world needs NGT Academy because there's a huge deficit in a lot of IT jobs. In cybersecurity, it's going to grow to over 3 million open jobs in the next few years. And that's where we come in. Our programs focus on real-world skills and project-based learning. So when they actually go to that job, they've done these things. They're familiar with it.
The whole concept is that we can take people from zero to engineer in less than 6 months. You're going to come out the other end as a network analyst, network admin, junior network engineer. People that have graduated go work at amazing companies like Amazon, Google, Riot Games, Visa. NGT Academy is going to disrupt the education sector. I really don't want to be in a world where 2030, we've now accumulated 3-4 trillion in student loan debt. So we offer zero tuition up front for our students using an income sharing agreement model.
Students can come to us with literally zero income, go through our program, not pay us a dime until they actually land their job. And that's the beauty of the ISA.
We only take 10% of the student's income for up to 4 years, and that's it. Now, if we get you a job and you're making $100,000, tuition is capped at a $25,000 tuition cap, and you're gonna pay back that in 30 months. So when the students win, earning more than $40,000, and we get 10% of that income, that's when we win. This is truly a game changer. It aligns with the student and it aligns with our business model. 2019, we did 3.2 million in top line revenue, and this is off a 7K product line. We took a hard pivot and we said this model is not going to scale for us. And we moved into live cohort teaching. This was the right move. So this is kind of where we're at. This is the model we believe that can scale. And now we have 4 months to set up our 2022 for success. We are here to change many lives with this innovative approach of zero tuition and zero student debt. Our mission is to change 1 million lives by 2030.
What does that really mean? It means changing their life by getting them into a job.
If we can perfect this model and scale it from 2,000 students to 10,000 and then eventually 100,000, we can get to a scale where we can serve 1 million students and change their lives forever. And that's the frame of mind we're thinking about how we're wanting to build this company.
Welcome to NGT Academy in downtown Phoenix. This is a 6-story building with a basement.
58,000 square feet. That's gonna be all of us.
We've been having this vision of a kind of new age training academy. Live, learn, and play, all in the same building.
In the military, we would have housing taken care of, food taken care of, gym access, and technical training, all confined in a tight area. So I'm gonna kind of break down every floor and we're gonna walk through it. So we're gonna start off with floor 1. Let's go inside.
This is a work in progress, so you gotta use your imagination. But
The first floor is a food court. We're looking at probably around 7 restaurants.
opening this area to the public, letting free traffic come in here.
And then to the right, we got the daycare.
This will be one of the first tenants that's gonna open up pretty soon, so excited about that.
This vision that we had, 5 years ago when we actually did a
Yeah.
model, remember where we took the NGT logo?
We actually tried to raise our first round of funding on that idea.
We did. They were like,
Crazy,
you can't do this with $1 million. Remember that?
Yeah.
You
And,
need
I mean,
about
they were
you need
right.
about 4 million.
Yeah.
And we pivoted, which worked out perfectly.
Yeah, online first.
Yeah, online first. All right, we are at the basement floor.
This would be a really cool space that has a training data center, nice lighting, everything, really geeked out, and then a nice lounge for people to chill out at, and just create a really cool atmosphere around that.
You're gonna see all this come to life in the next year. And this outside area, this could be an atrium, it could be a patio, a lot of greenery. You gotta just, use your imagination. Welcome to floor 2. Floor 2 is wellness. We got a yoga studio we're gonna walk through over here on the left. And then we've got a dozen or more offices, and those offices are gonna have energy healers, chiropractors, therapists, you name it, really around overall wellness. This entire building, we're doing a lease to purchase, so if the numbers look right, this entire building becomes a profit center. We plan to lease out 20 plus offices on the second floor. We want to have 7, 8 restaurants coming into the food court that's gonna serve this entire community. I mean, there's 600 condos coming across the street from us. It was a no-brainer for us. Welcome to co-living student housing, 27 units per floor. Floors 3, 4, and 5. They'll get their own rooms, but they're gonna share like communal areas, maybe kitchen, living room. It creates a seamless user experience where we can really transform them.
What I'm kind of more like getting kind of pumped about as we get this facility, as we get this campus idea going, is how can we build the tech in such a way where the online experience is integrated with the campus experience.
Yep. I could see a future where even 80% of our students are learning online, but we bring them to the campus for like an immersive experience. We want to start the in-person training in order to get government funding. Our goal is to serve more veterans, and veterans have been asking us for years to get GI Bill funding approved. GI Bill is a scholarship, if you will, that most veterans have access to, where they can spend tens of thousands of dollars, college, higher education, certifications. And we need 2 years of in-person training for any of our tracks to get GI Bill.
The GI Bill is very important to us because we're veterans ourselves and we really take pride in serving veterans as best as we can.
It's worth the 2-year wait. Here we are. Welcome to our headquarters. This is an exceptional area, right? It's beautiful. This floor, when I first walked through it, the energy felt right, everything felt right. And sometimes in life, you have those moments, and that was one of those moments. So it's a beautiful space. We can probably have about 25 employees here. This is our largest classroom over here where we have all our storage. 30 to 35 students. This is our cybersecurity training room.
We're going to continue to have our online-based programs, and even when we have in-person training here, we can still have people joining those classes remotely.
Ultimately, this will allow us to create the most phenomenal user experience for a student that is going to spend 4 months to transform their life. This is the next chapter that's going to take us to building the #1 IT academy on the planet.
I am so excited to have you guys here today. Well, the first thing we're going to focus on is messaging, because you guys have a couple different reasons why people should care about you.
I would agree with that, Jeff. NGT is an IT academy. We built our company around this kind of premise of zero to engineer, getting people IT training and landing them into a career within months instead of years.
So I want to start by asking you guys this question. What is the one-line sentence that makes me want to come to you guys?
I'll take a crack at this. You can reskill in a tech career in 4 months versus 4 years without the college debt.
I don't love reskill. I like power verbs, verbs that I get, that I know what they mean. Do I have to have been an engineer? How deep of an engineer? What level of experience do I have to have?
So zero. Yeah, zero.
Okay,
Practically.
so that's what reskill doesn't do. Re means I got to have some skill. This is for engineers, reskilling.
Right.
We're talking about scaling here, right? So we have to convince a public market that we know who our customer is, and people need to believe that you're going to keep growing, and growing means people need to believe that among all the choices, lots of people are going to pick you. I want to switch gears into another area. I'm being really honest with you guys, right? That's already how our relationship started off. When you take a company public, what everybody wants to know is, your projections look great, Jeff, but I want to be convinced you guys can deliver. If you guys are putting a lot of personal time into building a bricks and mortar school that serves 100 students, they want you to spend your time building the online business that serves thousands of students.
Right.
So pretend I'm that investor who is saying to you guys, are you focusing on the scalable stuff, or are you spending some time on a really cool project that doesn't scale?
So in the venture capitalist world, they want you to just raise a lot of money and scale super aggressively. And brick and mortar is scary because there's a lot of costs associated with that. But for us, it's not about the profit margins. For us, it's about the student experience. Whether it's in person or online, it doesn't matter. We want to serve all modalities and learn from that to create the best user experience possible.
I'm telling you, when you are talking to the public markets, they are going to say, whether you like it or not, they should focus on the scalable online business, not the in-room class. What you haven't done is drawn a necessity. Guys, I want you to reposition the whole thing. I wouldn't even call it a physical class or bricks and mortar building. I would say we're creating a design facility where we create our online classes. Because then people totally get it. Why do you need this? Because it's where we build the world's greatest classes. We test them with live students so we can talk to them, see the interaction. Then we launch them out into the scalable online business. Theme that better.
What is next gen? I don't even know what it is. No one ever tells me when I'm investing. I just want to go cold at it.
So Next Gen T is next generation training for IT, and we focus on cybersecurity and network engineering.
Tell me how you grew up. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Avita Springs, Louisiana.
Crawfish? What do you say?
We were just talking about crawfish. We're probably gonna actually have a crawfish boil.
What about you? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Seoul, Korea, born and raised, first generation Korean American.
Married, single? What's the story?
Got a girlfriend.
Yep.
You got a girlfriend?
We both have girlfriends.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys get along really well? You ever fight?
Chris, it's a little much different, actually. Not much different. Much different than any type of investor meeting I've ever been in.
I have different ways in which I think of investing. First, I look at the CEO. Are they tenacious? Are they creative? Are they willing to work hard? A lot about the history of who they are. So that's what I look for. How long have you guys been in business together?
We've been doing this business for about 5 years now.
Are you making money?
Yeah. Yes, we have revenue.
What are the revenues right now?
It's kind of tricky because our income sharing agreements are spread out for 4 years.
Explain it to your income sharing with who?
Our business model as a school, the value prop is zero tuition down. You pay zero tuition and we'll train you for free, and you take a percentage of your income for 4 years.
Awesome.
And as a payment cap of $25,000. 10%
I love
to
that.
be exact.
Not only that, it only takes 4 to 6 months for the student.
I love that. Where's the campus, or is it all online?
We started online originally. However, we're launching our in-person training, which we're super excited about, in downtown Phoenix.
It takes a lot of capital, build the university, build this. So how much money have you raised so far?
We've raised 18.1 million so far.
What's your next round? How much are you trying to raise?
We're looking to raise 42 million.
Are you hiring a CEO?
That will be Terry there.
I'm the CEO.
I've seen with all the different brands, it's very rare that the entrepreneurs, the brains, the geniuses can actually scale a company. If I looked at myself and looked at my failures, there was a company I started called Eagle's Eye, and there was two mistakes I made. One is I should have brought someone in above me and my brother that was really good, but I can do it. And the second thing is I should have sold it sooner, because I spent 20 years building a company. And so when I look at companies like you, I really believe strongly that you should always look to replace yourself, because think about this. You're in the ed tech world. You're building something that's extraordinary. How do you take this company from 200 million, which is an enormous number, by the way? How do you get it to 2 billion or 3 billion? Where they're going is amazing. I love the fact that students today are going to get an education for a low amount of money, but I think it's critically important that they hire great headhunters. They have the opportunity to build the next generation of education, or they could go wrong.
Chris was cool. Yeah, Chris. Chris, I thought, really got our business. I felt like he was passionate about what we're doing too. He really got our mission.
It almost felt like, for me, a mentor session. He really wants to know you, I realized, and get to know you, who you really are, before you dive into the business side. So I really appreciated that.
I felt like he might actually even, and it seems like he's interested in investing in our company.
Hey, Chris. Great to see you again. I came to see Chris to get him on our cap table as an investor. I've spoke with him via phone, text, back and forth in the last few weeks, because he had mixed feelings. And you know, it's hard to squash mixed feelings over a phone call.
What is next gen? I don't even know what it is.
So Next Gen T is next generation training for IT, and we focus on cybersecurity and network engineering.
This really is what we need for students. You're very hard to turn down. You kept pounding away at me, can I come and see you? Now, I didn't know if you wanted to come and see and hang with me, or if you wanted to come and see and pitch me again. I kind of figured out it was a pitch.
It's a little bit of both, actually.
Yeah, I know.
This is what I'm proposing to you today. How big is the fashion apparel industry? I'm just curious.
I don't know.
So
I think it's huge, but I'm in everything. Like, for me, I don't even look at the size and the scope of the industry.
I see.
I look at you. I look at your partner. I look at your mission. So let's talk about the most important thing is, one, I love your idea. The concept's amazing. You're truly giving back. in the most unbelievable way. What you're doing for young people's lives is amazing, and that they don't need to put up any capital if they don't want to. My concern is we're talking about the scaling of an organization and the right people to do it.
Which is why I came here, is I wanted to get you into this round.
Okay.
You should put in 1 million. I saw him like wanting to do the deal. I put a hard proposal out there that was really hard to refuse, at least in my head.
I don't know if I'm comfortable with $1 million. You came here, you want me to know what my thoughts were? I kind of made a decision and I wasn't going to invest. Do I know if you can scale? I don't. When you're an entrepreneur, it's like, really, how do we hire the right people to run the organization?
Right.
I haven't had clarity on your people. So your concept is great, but as you scale, you're going to need people with a really full length.
Right now, with this new round of funding, we are looking to level up the exec team, like you said, and you love the mission. So I would counter back and say, hey, you should put in 1 million. How can we close this deal on set? I think in the back of his head, he was thinking like, how can I get a sweeter deal? Chris always wants a better deal than everyone else.
My normal thing is I come in really early and I own 80% or 50% or whatever. I literally didn't think I was going to be investing $1 million. I think I'll tell you what I'd do for you. I'll give you $500,000 now, and then I'll give you another $500,000 in the next year.
Okay, let's do it. I feel great. I feel absolutely amazing. Tonight we'll celebrate, and I'm on cloud 9. What's next is really focusing on this campaign right now and getting our landing pages going and hang out with Chris on a personal level. Love to get to know him more, like I like to do with all my investors, and build that relationship and have fun.
Does this look familiar to you? This is why I love NGT Academy. But we should still take a closer look at their company. They have a unique revenue model that is partly based on a forward-looking metric called bookings. Bookings simply means the commitment of a customer to pay over a period of time for a product or service. In the case of NGT Academy, the service is an education and the payment is a percentage of a graduate's earnings over 4 years. Bookings are common in business and accounting, but not necessarily as easy to understand as a simple transaction revenue model, like buying a Hammett purse at a store, for example. There are risks associated with NGT Academy's bookings, as the payment is varied and not guaranteed based on a few factors. 1, the student's ability to graduate from the academy. 2, that student successfully securing a job after graduation. And 3, the potential wide range of salary of that position. In this case, bookings for the same service can convert to a range of revenues from $25,000 down to $0. And don't forget, IT training is a competitive and crowded marketplace. NGT Academy does not have a patent or exclusivity on the ISA model. And we should note that NGT Academy is operating at a loss, and there is doubt as to their ability to continue as a going concern. Going public is for entertainment purposes, and at no time do the company, sponsors, nor any participants provide investment advice, endorsement, analysis, or recommendations with respect to securities. On Going Public, you're going to hear from 4 companies that are giving you an opportunity to invest through an exemption from registration with the SEC called Regulation A. These offerings have not gone through a registration process with the SEC and do not have the investor protection that it provides. And it should be noted that just because the show is called Going Public, there is no guarantee that any company will in fact go public or ever list on an exchange like NASDAQ, for example. Bottom line, you need to know the risk going in. And Going Public makes no assurances or guarantees that any potential investor commitment or strategies discussed will result in company's success. Another thing you need to know is that Going Public is operated by Crush Capital, and Crush Capital is being compensated by the companies featured on the show. And some of our mentors have interest in the companies as well. These relationships mean that there could be a conflict of interest between the investors, Crush Capital, the companies featured, and the mentors on the show. We detail all these potential conflicts on the Going Public website at goingpublic.com.